Today, we're going to talk about how to build a profitable blog in 2026. So many things have changed in the marketing space. And today, I'm going to talk about and go through this step-by-step process of what it takes to build a profitable blog in 2026. As you guys know, 2026 is here. So it's more important than ever to be ready to understand all the different changes in the market to be able to grow your business. So first of all, I just want to introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Cielo Solis. I am a former TV journalist. I started my career at the Today Show right out of college. I always wanted to work in media. I worked at the Today Show as a producer for Lester Holt. I don't know if you guys know him. He used to be a very well, he still is, but he's no longer at Nightly News. But he used to anchor the Today Show before he transitioned to work for Nightly News, which is a show at NBC. If you're not familiar with NBC, it's okay, but it's a huge network. And yeah, I worked in television, NBC for about 4 years, and then CNN came knocking the door. I started producing the morning television show. I was a TV journalist. It was really a dream come true for me to be able to work with so many incredible people. But after 7+ years in television, I decided to quit my job. And I actually started my first publications. This was back in 2017. Now, why trust me, right? Why am I qualified to even talk about what we're going to talk about today? First of all, it's because since I started my career, I can't believe it's almost 15 years now, I focus on storytelling. Generally, I have a passion for it as a journalist, now as a coach, and also through all the media companies that I've been able to build. I built my first media publication in 2017, was able to grow it organically to have 1 million readers per month. We were able to sell the company. Now we run 4 profitable publications. We generate about 1 million from those publications. And about 2 years ago, we launched MasterBrand Legacy, where we basically have been helping coaches, entrepreneurs, consultants around the country be able to not only build a profitable blog, but build content systems that are really going to help them increase their sales, create new income streams, which are so vital to be able to grow a business. I've worked with incredible brands, Macy's, Coach, Amazon, Coinstar, Manscaped, 20+ others. I feel that I am privileged that I get to do something that I'm truly passionate about. And in the past year alone, I've helped 80+ coaches, 25 different industries. I mean, it's insane how much we've grown in the past year, and I can wait to see what the future is going to bring to us. Now, let's talk about and as by the way, you can check out my Forbes article. If you could just type my name and then 3 key SEO tips, you'll find my Forbes article. When we sold our first company, we actually got into Forbes, and it's obviously a highlight of that year because it was a big deal, I think, right? Especially when you've done so much work. Because yes, as an entrepreneur, you have to do the work. The work doesn't get easier, but if you know exactly where you're investing your time and resources, it does make a difference. Now, why is this storytelling important? In the words of Seth Godin, and if you guys don't know who he is, he was a very powerful entrepreneur in the dot-com era. This is early 2000s, who basically built over 20 sites, became a multimillionaire. And I think one of the things he realized really quickly was the importance of connection and building communities in the online space, especially when the internet was just starting and there was less competition. But recently I was able to attend one of his conferences because I'm part of so many different masterminds and so many great communities that really love his storytelling. And he said that really struck a chord with me because as a storyteller, that's basically how I feel about the power of that to be able to grow business. And he said, people do not buy goods and services. They buy relationships, stories, and magic. And that is absolutely true. Okay. Now, what is a master brand? Can someone tell me, just drop it in the chat, what do you think is a master brand? I want to make this a little bit interactive. What do you think is a master brand? Just drop it in the chat, even if you don't have any idea. What do you think is a master brand? And funny enough, our company is called MasterBrand Legacy. That's one of the reasons why we decided to choose that name because I feel that building a master brand is the ultimate goal of every company out there. Any ideas? Any ideas, guys? Any idea what a master brand is? Yes? No? Don't be shy. Just take a wild guess. Just take a wild guess. What is a master brand? Okay, we have a lot of shy people today, but that is okay. This is what a master brand is. A brand that is well positioned in the market and stands out for its originality and identity. Whether you like it or not, when you see the symbol, like the little, I wouldn't call it like a queen, but the symbol of Starbucks is everywhere. That as like immediately when you see it, you can identify it. The same thing with the Apple, right? You immediately know it's anything related to Apple company, and then Nike. These are obviously master brands because not only because they're extremely powerful, but they have been able to position in the market and stand out for its originality among different competitors. That is really what makes a best master brand. Now, when I talk about MasterBrand, I always like to give this example of nerdwallet.com. Are you guys familiar with nerdwallet.com? Have you ever heard about it? Drop a yes or a no. Have you ever heard about nerdwallet.com? Have you ever been on the site? This is a very popular site on this space. Is actually worth a lot of money now. But I don't know if you guys know, it had a very interesting origin. NerdWallet.com was started by a stock market broker. He was very young. He had just quit Wall Street because he was tired of working on the stock market. You guys know that probably this is really stressful. And he decided to open this site with like $500 in his pocket. Little did he know that what he was building was a one-stop solution for our financial needs. And at the heart of NerdWallet, it's really the block, which what we're going to talk about is all this amazing information and resources that exist on this site that really helps this brand position. It really helped for many years position this brand as a master brand among all the other financial online sites out there. And now, obviously, they have evolved and they work with incredible banks and different financial institutions in the US. But at the heart of NerdWallet is really the support and the guidance that they provide to its readers. Now, what is a blog? A blog is a hub of information for your audience where you, the brand, provide massive value. Okay. People always tell me, why blogging, right? I mean, I'm already in social media and I'm already on TikTok, on YouTube. Why do I need to create now content on my site? And this is what we're going to talk about today, because when you have a blog, you actually own your content. And that is probably the biggest difference. You're not reliant on social media in order to build an audience. You have control over your audience. And we'll talk more about that. But these are some of the popular ways to build an audience in 2026. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. These are wonderful, great social media platforms. Absolutely. You can build audiences, you can nurture, you can create a community for sure. But what is the problem? First of all, you do not own or are not in control of any of these platforms. Let's talk about TikTok, right? Last year, we did not know if we're going to be able to use TikTok because it was banned temporarily and then it came back. So the last thing you want to do is to want to be at the mercy of any social media platforms. And think about the market. In the last 10 years, there have been over 30 different platforms. Out of those 30 platforms, 4 of them only survive. And we only guess what's going to happen in the future, right? Every year, the market is different. So I think it's important to use them. Absolutely. Build traffic channels. But if you're going to put all your efforts into social media, then you're not going to be able to own your narrative. Now, you're not fully on your audience or content, IP. That's super important, especially when you're talking about the valuation of a site. I don't know if you guys have done an exit yet. If you have, drop it on the chat. But basically, when you're evaluating the assets of your company to sell it in the market, your IP is really important. Okay. And when you only have IP on social media, it's not as powerful of actually owning your content. Third, social media is great, but they do not favor external traffic. Instagram has changed a little bit in 2025, and now 2026, things are going to be different. But social media in general, they want you to keep people in their platforms because that's really how they make money. And the fourth one is that the algorithm can change at any moment. Okay. Meanwhile, building a blog allows you to have absolute control over the platform because it is your asset. You have absolute control of your audience. You can control what to post and how much you want to post. And you can use social media channels to drive leads to your website, but you're not relying on any of these platforms to make actual money and build an audience. They're only a vehicle. And that's really the key word. Yes, you can absolutely use social media channels, but make sure that you have automatic systems in place so you can drive those leads to your site, to your email list, to actual assets that you actually own and are going to convert into customers. If you don't have that, then you're wasting your time. I recently met with a social media influencer. I hate that word, but basically that's what she said she was. It was an influencer. She posted a lot on Instagram and she had over 1 million followers. I was shocked to realize that she did not have any marketing strategy to be able to bring people back to her email list, to be able to have different offers to monetize and actually make her following sustainable. And I feel it happens to a lot of people because having a following is not enough. I'd rather have 100 people that are loyal fans, raving fans, that have 1 million people that don't engage with my content and don't really care what I have to say. Now, meanwhile, building a blog allows you to create many streams of income through your website, such as affiliate marketing, online advertising, online courses, coaching, so much more. You can grow your email list organically. And apart from your blog, your email list is the only asset you actually own and probably the most powerful marketing channel. If you do not have an effective marketing strategy, email marketing strategy, then you are losing on big time on money, okay? Because the follow-up and really the nurturing happens on your email list. If people come in touch with you, either social media or either your blog, yes, they're obviously there because of the value of the content that you provide. But if you don't get them to your email list, you're not going to be able to nurture them. Like, for example, why are y'all here? Because you got an email from us that we were having a webinar. And you might be asking yourself, why is she having a webinar at the end of 2025 where everyone is on holiday mode? Because I am recording it and it's going to go to almost 100,000 people. It's the power of the masses because we have an email list of over 100,000 people inside your agency. So it's all about building systems and repurposing and being efficient with your time. The best one, because it's an asset, it has a valuation, a liquid asset which you can sell for a lot of money. I want you guys to think of an online site as a house. Believe it or not, a site, if you know how to drive traffic, how to monetize it, can have a higher valuation than a house and it can sell much quicker. And I'm going to show you how later on in this presentation. Now, this is the $1 million question, how to drive traffic to a website in 2026. Let's talk about SEO. And now we even have to talk about AI SEO because AI has really changed the industry and it's important to also optimize for artificial intelligence search engines. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization, and just to keep it simple, it is a process by which content that is created on your site is going to rank on a search engine. The most popular one, obviously, is Google. And when people type a specific topic, they're going to come to your site and you are going to provide them resources in that topic. Okay. The content is usually published through articles on your blog. Now, today I'm talking about solemnly about organic marketing, organic SEO. Now, SEO is a very broad concept. There is paid SEO, local SEO. I am only talking on organic because I believe that the foundation of a business should always be built organic. Then once the organic is working, then you can scale with paid marketing. But you're not going to go scale with paid marketing if you don't even have the foundations. Think of a house, right? You can have a beautiful house, you can decorate your living room and remodel your kitchen. But if it doesn't have a good foundation and then there's an earthquake, what's going to happen? The house is going to fall apart. It's the same thing with a business. Paid marketing and all these, what I call advanced strategies, are really powerful if you have a solid foundation and you have authority in this space and then you prove yourself as an authority. And you want to make sure you grow organically first before you start experimenting with paid marketing or other strategies because it can get expensive really quickly. Now, this is probably the most important slide on my presentation. Okay, this is the step-by-step process to build a six-figure block in 2026. And to be completely honest, I could basically spend 1 or 2 hours on every step because there's so much information to learn, but I am going to try to condense things and make it digestible. Step number one is the market research. I don't care in what industry you are, you have competitors. Even if it's something new that you're bringing to the market, trust me, you have competitors. And you need to know how to identify those competitors correctly so you can actually make informed decisions. The number one reason why entrepreneurs don't make it past a year is because they decided that they're going to start something, put something on social media. They have no strategy, they have no market research. They haven't built a robust content marketing strategy in order to be able to execute. Building a business is hard. I'm not going to say and sugarcoat it, it's easy, because it's not. You have to have a lot of consistency, a lot of discipline. You got to do the work, you got to be consistent, and you have to make sure that when you're just getting started, you got to do a market research and understand who are your competitors. Now, when it comes to step one, I'm going to immediately tell you what you need to look at, okay? If you are trying to build a profitable blog, there are 4 things that you need to look at, and this is really important in the market research phase. You don't do it correctly, you might as well just not create a blog or content systems because it's too hard and you're wasting your time. If you're serious about building a business and making money, you got to do the work, period. There's no shortcut. The first thing you need to look at is you need to look at competitors. Let's say you are in the wellness space. You're a wellness coach. You are trying to create a blog and also repurpose your content everywhere to build authority, get more leads, get more traffic, and so on. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at sites in the wellness space with a domain authority lower than 40. Are any of you guys familiar with the term domain authority? Can you please drop a yes or no? Domain authority, are you familiar with that? Yes, no? Are you familiar with the term domain authority? What does it stand for? Yes, no? Okay, yeah, if you don't know, that's completely fine. That's fair. Domain authority is basically a score given to every site in the world by Moz, M-O-Z. If you're not familiar with Moz, let me introduce it to you, okay? They are a search engine optimization tool, very reputable in the space, and they basically provide a score from 0 to 100. Now, when you're just getting started, you're not going to be able to compete with big sites. Think about it. Let's say you are in the news space, you want to start a publication about, I don't know, like just breaking news. Are you going to be able to compete with CNN? No, because CNN is a powerhouse. They are a huge company in America. They spent, I don't know, like 40, 50 years building the reputation, have thousands of employees. So what you're looking at competitors with a low domain authority. And I think ideally lower than 40. Okay. Now you're looking at sites where 50% of the content is ranking on a search engine. What does that mean? That when you type, when you look at the sites, are the content that they're producing ranking on Google, they're ranking on Pinterest, or they're ranking on all these different search engines that we're going to talk about. That's pivotal because if 50% of the content is ranking, that means that it is a profitable blog. Third, you want to look for sites that are getting a lot of traffic and also are not producing that much content. Let's say you identify a blog with 100,000 page views per month. Wow, you're like, they're getting a lot of traffic, a lot of readers, but they have over 500 articles. Then that's a little too much, right? What you ideally want is to identify sites with high traffic and then they don't have that much content, right? Content is low, preferably like less than 50. I mean, this is something that it will happen to a lot of the times. You'll find a blog or a site with over 100 articles and they're only ranking for 4 to 5 articles, and those 5 articles are bringing the entire traffic off that site. It also happens all the time, which is why you need to understand how to look at the data. You need to assess the data and to make informed decisions based on that. And then the fourth different metric that I look at is I want to see sites that are already monetizing with ads. Ads are the easiest way to monetize a blog, okay? And it can actually create you a really good income, a top line revenue in addition to everything that you have. But you need to know, right? If other people in your space, if other people in your space are already doing it, then you know that they were able to do it, you can also do it. So step one, market research is pivotal. And these are some of the factors that you should be looking at. Now, step two is the website setup. I'm not going to go over that in depth, but just know that the setup is so important. What hosting you use, what theme you use will either make or break your asset, which is really your site. The first thing that I can tell you right away, do not build a blog on Wix, a Squarespace, all these third-party platforms. Absolutely no. If you want to monetize the blog, if you want to sell your blog at some point in your business and make really good money, make sure you build it in WordPress and that you actually own your site. You have no idea how many clients come to me. They build beautiful blogs, and when I take a look at them, they've been built on Wix, they've been built on all these platforms, and now it is so hard to monetize because, first of all, Google doesn't like when you build a site on any of these platforms. So if you want to get approved into an ad network, it's going to be harder for you, and it's just going to be a much more complex process. So save yourself from all these problems. I feel like a lot of the times when you're just getting started, you really don't know and you don't make informed decisions. So that's why it's important to make sure that you choose a really good theme that is not going to break, that is specifically good for blogging, and a host is that it's going to be responsive. And I'm just going to give you like a tip: stay away from Bluehost, because Bluehost, it might be a good hosting to begin with, but it's definitely a hosting that is not great when it comes to creating content on your site. Because remember, with content comes pictures, images, videos. That slows down your site really quickly, and you want to make sure that your site is responsive at all times. Yeah. So again, I can talk about it for an hour, but just to keep it short, be very careful on the theme and the platform that you choose to build your blog, because it truly matters and it will either break or make your blog. Now, as step three, once you've identified these competitors, you know exactly who they are, they meet all the different requirements that we just went through. What you're going to do is you're going to start with back-end research. Let's say you identified a site in the wellness space and you know that they're ranking for 30 articles that is bringing traffic. Then you're going to want to do back-end research, identify all those articles. Okay, what are the topics that they're writing about, right? And you're going to have the top bottom approach. You're going to look at the content with the most traffic, and then definitely that's where you're going to want to get started with your content calendar. Your content calendar should be based on traffic potential, because at the end of the day, this is a business. You want to make money, you want to get more leads, you want to get more people into your pipeline. So if you don't use data to make these decisions, you are wasting, again, your time. Okay, it's all about finding lucrative keywords. And I'm going to talk about that in case you have no idea what a keyword is. A keyword is a singular, multiple words, usually phrase, okay, that describes a topic. It's a key. For example, a singular keyword can be shoes, right? You can type on Google shoes and it will pop up a lot of different searches. What we call a long-tail keyword, it could be best running shoes for flat feet. That is what we consider a long-tail keywords. Now, when it comes to lucrative keywords, okay, there are three variables that are really important: high volume, low difficulty, and the traffic potential. High volume. Let's talk about volume. Volume is the basically number of searches of that specific keyword in a 30-day range. So if a specific keyword like I don't know, like shoes gets million, okay, 1 million on volume, it means that it's having 1 million searches every month by people in the internet. That's really powerful information. Now, the low difficulty, obviously, there is a way for you to be able to know, okay, if the keyword is actually easy or hard to rank for. Now, inside my community, we actually have we use oversuggest. We used to use key search, but now we use oversuggest. Majority of people in my community actually have access to oversuggest for free because they're part of our community. It's one of the perks. But I'm gonna log in and I'm gonna show you guys. There's also SEMrush, Ahrefs, which is really expensive and I don't recommend it. You don't need that. But oversuggest is a really great platform. Let me just really quickly log in. If you go to a keyword tool like oversuggest, you will go to, first of all, you will log in. And I think they actually have a 7-day trial. So you can also just sign up for the trial and then you can cancel it if you don't need it. So that way you can play around and get used to. But this is, guys, what if you're actually interested of building profitable content systems for you, these are the type of tools that you have to use. Okay. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. They're like, no, you don't need any of these tools. That is not true. I work with entrepreneurs making 7-8 figures, and all of them are using very robust tools for each part of their content systems. So if you're just getting started, oversuggest, you can get oversuggest. So key search, I think key search is like $15 a month. It's not that expensive. And trust me, it will help you grow your content systems, okay? So right here, I'm going to just under keyword research, I'm going to click on keyword ideas, and then I'm going to type just a topic. So right here, I was looking for festival outfit ideas. One of my clients, she's in the fashion space. She's building a fashion brand, and she just launched her fashion publication. So she was looking at this. So I'm going to click on this. And as you can see, once you click that specific topic, it's going to give you a list. And what you always want to look at, again, we talk about the volume. So right here, the volume is 880. What does that mean? That this topic, that this keyword that you're trying to target gets about 880 searches per month from people in the internet. Okay? The second thing that I look at is the SEO difficulty. So the SEO difficulty for this keyword is 49. Okay, that's kind of medium. Ideally, you want to always target low difficulty keywords. Like, for example, for oversuggest, and every SEO tool is different, is usually 0 to 100. So 0 meaning really, really low, 100 high competition, right? So if it's a 40 now, it's like a medium SEO difficulty. And if it's a 30, which is this keyword's a 30, that is what's considered low competition. Okay. Since I have already identified my competitors, I'm going to be honest, I don't look too much at the SEO difficulty. I care more about the volume and I care about the traffic potential. If you know who your competitor is, you can actually use a tool like Oversuggest to get the traffic for each of their articles. So obviously, they're not going to be 100% accurate, but they will give you great estimates. Okay. Now, beyond Google, okay, and again, this could be like an entire training. There is Pinterest. Pinterest is one of the most lucrative keywords to drive traffic and build an audience. And I don't know if you've ever used Pinterest, but it's an incredible tool. So I'm actually going to make a little right here market research for you so you know what I'm talking about. This is one of our accounts, but let me just go to the general searches. Okay, you guys see Pinterest? Yes? So let's say I am a wellness coach and I focus on energy. Okay, so I'm going to type energy and let's see what pops out. Energy aesthetics, bites, energy, protect energy, energy protection. There you go. So I'm going to click on that and see what pops up. I'm going to make sure to put all pins. Yep, that it is. So you see, I typed the keyword because Pinterest is also a search engine and it immediately provided me all these pins. Energy protection quotes for peace and boundaries. Guide to energy protection. I like this one. So you see how it automatically renders a pin. I click here and it takes me directly to the side. Bloom and manifest. So this is actually a blog, okay? This brand has a blog and they've written a blog about the topic is energy protection strategies for empaths, okay? And then if you go down, the first thing I see is ads. She's already monetizing with ads. What does that mean? If she is monetizing with ads, I can also monetize with ads. It reinforces, right? It really is confirming with you that your idea is a good one, that there is a space for you to monetize and make money. Because first of all, she's ranking at the top of the searches, and second, she's already monetizing with ads. Okay, now I'm not sure what the domain authority of the site is. There is this incredible tool. It's called Ahrefs. It's a free tool. That's what I like to use. Domain checkered. Domain checkered. And I just want to know what's the domain authority of the site to see if it's like low, it has a high domain authority. Let's see. It's called Website Authority Checkered. You can go to ahrefs.com/website-authority-checkered. And then I'll be able to look at the authority. And I like it because it's a free tool. Yeah, and you see the domain authority is only 11. This is a low domain authority side. So if I was a wellness coach, I would probably add this side into my market research because she's ranking at the top on Pinterest. She's already monetizing with ads and her domain authority is 11. Data is powerful. Use it to your advantage. Okay, let's continue. Once you've done that and you've built your content calendar, I always tell my clients to at least create a content calendar for 3 to 4 months. The last thing you want to do is to try to figure out every day what you're going to post about because that is such a waste of time. If you want to make money, you have to get to a point that you're building content systems inside your business so you as a CEO can focus on the next 6 months of your business. If you only work in the in and outs, you're never going to be able to scale. And that is just a reality. I have over 20 plus people working for me. And when I think about why is it that we've been able to grow so much this year is because each of them have been able to provide not only help, obviously, because that's what they were hired, but they have been able to provide a new entire traffic channel to be able to get clients, to be able to monetize. And they are essential to be able to grow the business. That way I can focus on the next 6 months of our business. So you got to get to a point that you're working on the business, not in the business. If you're always working in the in and outs, it's going to be really hard for you to grow. Okay. So once you build your content calendar, the next step is going to be to work on your e-content. But before I talk about e-content and the e-framework, which is right here, let me go back for here, e-framework, okay? I want to show you guys a case study, okay? Literally doing what I just told you, market research correctly, doing the keyword research, building content calendar, doing backend research. We literally published, in a 6-month period, we published 60 articles. That's it. We look at our competitors, we look at the top of their content, we created better content than them, okay, and we publish them on their blogs. And this is what happened to us. First of all, higher content ranks on Google, the more traffic, right? Because Google is one of the search engines that will drive traffic back to your site. These were the results. They were staggering, okay? As you can see, we basically had 6 months without any traffic and we were publishing content. And then once in 2021, boom, we started getting a lot of traffic, okay? And we were growing steadily after that. That's what you want with your content efforts. That's what I wanted to show to you. Now, let's talk about step 4. And I think this is a very important step because I feel now with AI, things have changed dramatically. If you are leveraging ChatGPT and Gemini to do keyword research, and then you're basically using them to draft your entire blog post and then you publish them on your site, you're wasting your time. Please do not block or don't build content systems because everyone's doing that. If a tool is used by the masses, then think about it. What makes me different? What is my superpower? How am I going to build that master brand if you're just doing the same thing that everyone is doing? That's why I call low marketing pain point, okay? People these days, you have no idea, oh, I use ChatGPT, I choose Gemini. That is not good enough, guys. Think about it. If they were good enough, you would have to pay for them. And there is one thing that is never going to be replaceable ever. And that is going to be your expertise, your authority, your knowledge. That cannot be replaced ever by AI. Now, we talk about the data on step 1 and step 3, right? We talk about the data, looking at the numbers. Yes, that is half of the equation. Now, once you know what drives traffic, your job is to build content based on the E principle. And if you're not familiar with the E principle, let me introduce that to you. E stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trust. And this is the principle that you have to use to create content, not only on your blog, but everywhere in the online space. That is what will separate you from the rest. If you use AI to draft captions, they're just, yeah, I'm sure the content is average, but it's just generic stuff that everyone is doing. People connect to stories. People connect to experiences, to honesty. You gotta be honest. You gotta show up authentically. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to build a brand. It's just too hard. There's too much competition these days. I think this year in 2026 is going to be more important than ever, that connection, because people really don't like AI. Okay? They just don't. It's taking away that human touch, and people crave human touch more than ever. So what I've been noticing, the trend is that people are more interested about learning about you, what makes you, than trying to read a generic post that they can literally get it from ChatGPT. Think about it, right? Why would people go to your site? Why would they follow you on social media? Why would they engage with you if the content that you're giving them is pretty much the same everywhere? Right? It's there's no difference. People there because you're sharing your experiences, your expertise. You're a wellness coach. Talk about your practices, what you talk about to your clients, right? The different clients that you had, everything they had to overcome. That's what they want to know, right? Talk about your journey. And every topic, every piece of content that you create needs to have your voice. You need to dial in on your voice, and your voice is going to be different. That's what's going to make you different. That is not going to be replaceable with ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these AI tools. And that's how you position yourself as an authority in the space. Example, I have a client in the insurance space. I mean, let's be honest. No one likes to consume content in the insurance space. It's boring, okay? So we were actually brainstorming the other, we're talking about that, right? And I told her, look, I'm going to be very honest with you. People will pay attention if it focuses on their pain points, because that's really what catches our attention, right? You don't really care about insurance until you'll get a lawsuit for, I don't know, $30,000, or you crash your car and then you have to pay a lot of money. That's when you care. She has had hundreds of clients, and I told her, tell their stories, talk about all the different case scenarios of what happens if you don't have a good house insurance or a good car insurance. And now that you really understand what content really drives conversation and it's helpful, she's been able to skyrocket her Instagram and her blog. And she's getting more clients than ever. Content is pivotal to be able to grow an audience, to be able to build a loyal fan base. Without that, people are not going to trust you. And that's just the reality. So it is important that as you create content, you make sure that you add your own experience and your own stories in all these different posts and all these different um, blog posts that you are publishing on your site. That's really important. Okay, let's move forward. Now, once you've done that, okay, efficiently, you understand how to create really good content, you are consistent. Now, step 5 is the step where you actually build the audience. If you don't get to this step, then the other steps are not even worth it, okay? And this is honestly for every type of business in 2026. In 2026, you want to build a sustainable business that is giving you at least a six-figure income a year, okay? Because if you're not making six-figure income a year, might as well just hold your corporate job. It doesn't make sense, right? You're putting all this effort. You guys know inflation. Yeah, I feel like if you don't make six figures, it's really hard to be able to keep afloat and do what you love, because you're working so hard. And you guys know, if you're an entrepreneur, you're working weekends, you're working crazy hours. It happens, especially at the beginning, right? So it needs to be worth it. So that's why it's more important than ever to have a search omnipresence approach. You got to be everywhere where your audience is. But it's not about just putting random content. If you already have a blog, if you've been building a system, now what you got to do is you got to repurpose that efficiently across multiple channels, right? Google being the main one, great, but Google is not enough in 2026. Things have changed dramatically. You want to put X in different baskets. Pinterest. If you look at this account right here, and if you guys see it, this Pinterest account gets over 500,000 hits per month. We've grown this organically by just producing good content. You see it, over 500,000 monthly views. Okay, it is possible if you understand the algorithm. If you don't understand the algorithm, you're just wasting your time. Can you guys see my Pinterest account? I just want to make sure that you guys are seeing it. Let me see. Let me share this here. Here, right here. As you can see, over 500,000 viewers per month. Okay. I just want you guys to be aware of that. Okay. Let me share. Now I'm going to go back to the presentation. So step 5 is the step where you're going to want to diversify the traffic. So you're building multiple traffic channels that are going to build an audience. Pinterest is one of the best search engines to get organic traffic back to your site. Flipboard. If you've never heard about Flipboard, go Google it, okay? There's entire communities around different topics, different verticals on Flipboard, and it's also an organic search engine. Web stories. Web stories are like Instagram stories, like TikTok stories, but the difference is that it lives on the free internet. So when people find you, they'll find you through Google, and then they'll go to your site. And then one of my favorite ones, syndication. Syndication was when you repurpose content in bigger platforms. Let's say you are, again, a lifestyle blogger, okay? And then you get accepted in a program like Newsbreak or Yahoo. Now you can syndicate your content in all these platforms and get access to billions of viewers. I mean, this is, by the way, the moneymaker of all the big media companies. As you guys know, I've worked at CNN, NBC. And the reason why they make so much money and they have such a big audience is because the moment someone publishes a piece of content on their site, it's getting repurposed in over 230 different channels, different media platforms. So the more people see your content, the more people are going to want to interact with you, with your brand. They're going to go to your site, they're going to take actions, and that ultimately is how you become a powerhouse. So it's really building traffic channels beyond Google. You need to have a multi-channel approach. But obviously, when you're just getting started, you got to think one thing at a time. So if there's at least one thing that you're just doing, make sure you follow the step-by-step process. So that way you're not wasting your time. Do not just start posting on social media randomly or writing a blog post if you have no strategy, because that is like throwing a spaghetti at the wall, and I don't want you to waste your time. And then one thing that I could also be talking about for hours is AI searches. Not only Google, but now there's also ways to be able to optimize. So when people typing a specific topics on ChatGPT, or they're typing topics on Gemini that they want to learn about, your site can rank organically. Okay. And it has a lot to do with brand authority and also positive engagement, which is why building content on your site, I think that is going to be more important than ever. Okay. Now, the next step after that, and then right here, I have like a little roadmap that I'm providing to you. So this is how it really looks. You have your site in the middle, and you have all these different traffic channels that are bringing traffic to your site, right? If you are able to repurpose effectively all the content across different traffic channels, obviously you need to understand the algorithm, and if resources are limited and you don't have a team, you want to make sure you get started with one, and then scale as you start seeing traffic and you start seeing some wins. You're gonna build an audience. It's gonna be impossible for you not to be able to build an audience because you've done the work, right? When you do the work, that's what happens. You build an audience. It's gonna be impossible for you not to. And once you build an audience, that's where you can think about building coaching programs, digital products. This year alone, I've spoken to probably 500 people on the phone. Everyone has a great idea. Everyone wants to build an offer. Oh, I'm working on my offer. I want to do that. And the first thing I ask is like, do you have an audience? 90% of them say no. I will work on my audience once I have my product. Guys, it should be the other way around. You should first build an audience. And once you have that audience, and you understand their pain points, then you can build products to be able to serve your community. That is actually so much more powerful because everything is organic. MasterBrand legacy. I mean, I wish I had more time to talk to you guys, but I built this entire community organically. I used to work for media companies, top Fortune 500 companies, doing consulting for big companies. Once I got into Forbes, I got like 30 people in my DMs, emails, please work with me, please coach me one-on-ones. And I was like, okay, I did that for a bit. And I was like, and now if I'm going to help people, I'm going to do it in my right terms. And I'm going to do it in a way that feels authentic, and I can build partnerships with different networks and different syndication deals so I can help my clients. So it really all started for me organically. And that's the way it should be for you. I saw a pain point in the market, and I leverage the connections and the authority that I have in this space in order to be able to provide something unique. So that's the way it should be for you. Build your community. Build that community first, understand the pain points, and then build products, premium products around the pain points of your readers. Okay? Now, again, this is one of our accounts on Pinterest. This is how content marketing changed my business. Okay. Once we understood how SEO worked, we were basically repurposing our content across multiple channels. We literally went overnight from 10,000 readers per month to 10,000 readers per day. We started making money, okay, because we easily could monetize through ads, affiliate marketing, and sponsorship. That is one of the beauties about blogging. It will create new income streams for your business. One of my clients, I'll show you, she's incredible. I think I don't know if I have her site later on this presentation. She's a 7-figure wellness coach. She recently landed a sponsorship with BetterHelp. And as you can see, she's running ads, okay? Because we do have an ad network partnership, which guarantees for our clients to be able to monetize their blogs. But anyways, she landed a $10,000 deal with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a platform, you're not familiar, and where that helps people with resources, mental health resources. And it's so aligned to her brand because that is what she does for a living. She helps women over 50 reduce burnout and also stress. So for her, it was like a match made in heaven. She understood the pain points of her community. She's providing a lot of discounts for people that want to use BetterHelp. And at the same time, she's making a commission. It all works out. Affiliate marketing and sponsorships. Once you have an audience, if you build partnerships with brands in order to help, and that's the key word, it should not be because I want to make more money. No, it should be where should I partner with what companies, right, in order to be able to help and provide value to my company. I have partnered with over now 50 plus different companies inside my community, and it's all been organic. It's been from a place one of my clients want to test a specific software. I have been using it for years, and then I go to that specific software and say, hey, my clients want to use it, happy to refer you, but you got to give them a discount. That's incredible because they're creating a premium discount for us in order for my client to test it out. So when you provide value, everything is different because you're not thinking about the money will come. You're thinking about solving a problem, providing value. And when you think about your client and you put your client, your ideal avatar in mind, everything is just different. It will come from a place of purpose, not from a place, I want to make money, and I don't know how to make money. Okay? So another thing, we made over $100,000 in Amazon sales in a given month. It was crazy. I mean, one of our publications, easiest way to monetize was Amazon, because we had all these incredible guides. We were specific, the publication in the Gen Z space. It was for college students, so we wanted to provide resources about what are the best backpacks, best laptops. So organically, since we're doing this in-depth reviews, we could actually include an affiliate link, and many people will go and buy. Okay, and this is just to say we didn't have a physical store. This is just basically affiliate money that we would commission. Now, does that mean that I'm making $100,000 in 1 month? No, because Amazon associates will pay you 10%. But it's $10,000. Hey, I'll take it. We don't do anything for it, right? We just get referrals. And not only Amazon, we work with about 20 plus other affiliate marketing companies. And together, it's a lot of money. But again, we always, when we create content, we put our client, our ideal reader in mind. That just affiliate marketing is powerful when it's organic. We did a lot of different collaborations, and we started making really good money through affiliate marketing. So that is exactly what blogging can do for your business. And here are some screenshots. This was in a month again. So this is what a blog can do for your business. First of all, and that's kind of a taken, it will increase your brand awareness and credibility, okay? Because you're basically creating your own publication. You own your narrative. You own your content. You are the expert. You position yourself as the master providing the solution to the problems. You will build an organic, loyal fan base that you can monetize. Think about the actions. People go from Google, they find your site. And your site, they spend a couple of minutes reading the content, right? I mean, let's go back to this energy side right here. You can see that now she has a pop-up, free step-by-step manifestation on guides. So if you're interested about this topic, you're probably going to sign up to her freebie, and now you're part of the newsletter of this entrepreneur. What's her name? It doesn't say. But anyways, yeah, you're not going to be part of the email newsletter of Bloom and Manifest. So imagine all these automatic steps that people are taking while you're sleeping. That is the power of building systems. Now, you can build your email list for sure, okay? And then your blog is ultimately going to become a warm lead generator on autopilot that is not only going to nurture your leads, but also is going to allow you to get more sales. That ultimately is the superpower of creating a blog that lives on your site. And the reason why blogging is still so powerful in 2026. It's the same thing as you were doing on social media. The difference is that it lives on your site and you have absolute control of it. Again, creating a blog with rich content allows you to monetize ad networks. I don't know if you ever heard about Wrapped for Mediabund. These are premium ad networks. These ads right here that this site is running. She's part of an ad network. Which one? I don't know. I could take a look. There's ways to know that, but right now I'm not going to focus on that. But just know that there are premium ad networks that pay really, really well, and you can make decent money. If you have about 50,000 page views per month, in the low end, if you get into one of these ad networks, you can make like $3,000 per month. Hey, it's extra income. Regardless, you have to create content. Might as well make money. Okay. Now, this is some of the screenshots of how it started. Okay. Once we understood all the systems that I'm teaching here, started making decent money. 6,692 on ads. I'll take it. Okay. And our RPM was 34. RPM says basically how much you're getting paid for 1,000 page views. And this is how it's going. Yeah. I mean, we've had months, every month is different, but we had months, especially seasonal months, Christmas, the holidays, back to school season, we've gotten over $50,000, okay, just on ads because of the traffic that we got. So obviously it can be really powerful if you know how to dial in, how to build this strategy, and then you build the systems around. And once you know and you have the systems, you can absolutely use AI and also outsourcing. You got to get someone to help you once things are working, you're making money so you can keep scaling. Otherwise, it's going to be overwhelming. And I think that's one of the great things that we do inside our community. We really help our clients be able to not only build all these systems, but also get to a point that they can really get help because you need help. Okay? You need help. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to grow. Now, I want to talk about this because this is something people don't talk about, okay? Let's talk about valuations. Unlike social media, unlike all these platforms that we talk about, a website has a valuation. What does that mean? If you build a blog and you get to a point that you're making, let's say $3,000 monthly on ads with your blog, okay? This is the formula that the market will give you. You can actually sell your blog just by itself in the market and make a nice exit. And I'm going to give you some examples, okay? The market, the minimum it will give you is your monthly income times 36 or your yearly income times 3. So let's say you're making $3,000, okay, on a monthly basis, okay? Maybe someone's more, someone's less, but on average, 3K. Okay, multiply that, okay, by 36. How much is that? It's over 100K. So if you ever want to exit your blog, you can actually list it and sell it to a market, sell it to another person through a platform, okay, through a market like Empire Flippers. If you're not familiar with Empire Flippers is one of the largest markets to buy and sell sites around the world. It's an incredible platform. And as you can see right here and give you examples, you can just type empireflippers.com will show up. You click on marketplace. Like this site right here, it's in the travel niche. The main monetization is just affiliate marketing display ads, meaning that they're running ads on their side. It's selling for over $1 million. You see the power of this? It's not just a small little blog. It's what you could build if you understand how this works. That's how I was able to do my first exit. It was a 7-figure exit because I built almost 14 different traffic channels to that one publication. Okay, let's see another example. Dating lifestyle. So this site is about dating. Again, first monetization, the main monetization strategy is just display ads. This site is selling for $982,000. to think big. This is not just like, let me put some blog. No. Think of how powerful, think of how much it could add valuation to your entire business, right? Especially if you have a coaching business, a consulting business. This will add a top line revenue. It will increase the valuation. Or you could also sell the block. Let's say you work on it really hard. 3 years from now, you're tired. You want to like exit it because you want to move on, or you have some personal problem. Just need the cash. You could always sell it to the market and do a nice exit. So a block is really an asset, a liquid asset to which you can sell for a lot of money. And some of these blocks are sold in less than a month. Think about it, right? How long does it take to close a house? About 6 months minimum. So a website can actually be sold faster. Now, this is the main takeaway that I want you guys to get from this presentation, is the fact that the key to leverage storytelling to build a powerful brand is to have a robust content marketing strategy before you even launch and build multiple traffic channels. If you don't do that, then you're never going to be able to make sustainable income. Okay, because that is really the end goal as an entrepreneur. You want to make sustainable income. You want to create a sustainable business. That is really the main takeaway from this presentation.